In front of a live audience, the WWE superstars will see who's money and who's just sick. Both figuratively and literally. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. For the first time since WrestleMania, a WWE pay-per-view will take place in front of a live crowd in Fort Worth, Texas. And if the crowd is anything like the one on SmackDown in Houston, I would wager there will be a spike in new COVID-19 cases in Texas in the next few weeks. But hey, it's to be expected from a state more red than the blood of the cattle they breed and slaughter. I just hope those in the WWE, staff, workers, and superstars stay masked up when they're not on camera, even if most are vaccinated. But as I said a few years ago, the WWE seems to want Money in the Bank to be a fifth major pay-per-view alongside Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. And to its credit, the card looks good on paper. I mean, every announced match is a title match, including both primary and tag titles. And most of the 16 participants in the ladder match need a push, some more than others. I can understand why they pushed it up. Last year they did a very entertaining corporate ladder match in the now truly empty WWE headquarters building. It'll be hard to top that, but I think it looks like they're giving it a good try. Here are my predictions for Money in the Bank 2021. As kickoff matches are back on the menu, I'll start with that. For the SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Mysterios defend against the Usos. Now, here's an episode of Celebrity Family Feud I would actually watch. Now, let's be honest. To this day, I don't know why Rey and Dominic even got a title match to begin with, let alone how they beat Ziggler and Rude to win them. But though they've held the titles with dignity, they're just father and son. Jimmy and Jay are from the same zygote. You can't get any closer than that. And now that Jimmy is A, back in the ring, and B, on the same page as Jay, they can get back to what they do best. Win titles. Mysterios, welcome back to the Uso Penitentiary. Winners and new champs, the Usos. Raw tag titles. AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders. Even though I predicted Styles and Omos would win the titles from the New Day at WrestleMania, I really wasn't sure they'd hold on to them this long. Sure, Omos seems, well, almost unstoppable, but we really need to get him in the ring for more one-on-one and see just how he is when beyond the underground. Now, Ivar and Eric, they're in the midst of a massive push here, and despite them splitting the one-on-ones last Monday, these guys are way overdue for some gold. The last students of the Paul Ellering are supposed to be the Road Warriors of the 21st century, but they can't get there without winning the titles. If they can double-team Omos and keep him from butting in, they'll have Styles all to themselves and can pick up the win. Winners and new champs, the Viking Raiders. Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Again, Charlotte, will you never learn? Sure, you've won every women's title ever offered by the WWE today, save for NXT Tag and NXT UK titles, but wasn't the beating by Ripley enough to make you realize that you can't beat her? And Ripley's basically the opposite of Steve Austin, booed at constantly, but not really giving any number of craps as they boo or cheer her. She's a dog chasing cars. She just does things. And yes, it looked like Ripley did get DQ'd deliberately to keep her title last time, but that's just who she is. She's willing to do anything to win a match and or keep a belt. And that's something Charlotte never really got the hang of doing. Oh, she can cheat as well. She is Ric Flair's daughter after all, but she's never really had to deal with someone who does it so naturally, so to speak. Sorry, Charlotte, but the climb to 60 titles will have to wait. Winner and still champ, Rhea Ripley. Universal title match, Roman Reigns versus Edge. Yeah, even I have to admit that Daniel Bryan weaseling his way into the main event at WrestleMania was what kept Edge from achieving greatness after 11 years. And the Royal Rumble winner deserves a one-on-one match against the Tribal Chief. But you see, that's the thing. With Roman Reigns, it's never just one-on-one. Oh, sure, some may say the Usos would be more of a hindrance than a help, but hence why Reigns usually tells them to stay behind while he takes care of business. But how in the hell can you not want the odds in your favor with the title on the line? If not for Jey Uso, Reigns wouldn't even be champion right now. And with Jimmy, as stated on the same page, it's now 3-on-1. 3.5 if you count Paul Heyman. Although Edge will give it one hell of a try, but if the ref gets KO'd somehow, it'll be all over for the Rated R Superstar. At least till SummerSlam. Winner and still champion, Roman Reigns. WWE Championship. The almighty WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley, defends against Kofi Kingston. Unlike the Universal title match, this is going to be a 2-on-2, and if MVP tries anything, Xavier Woods will counter him. Now look, I loved it when Kingston won the title at WrestleMania a few years ago. He had started as a singles competitor before starting the New Day, and everyone really wanted him to get that elusive primary title, but that was years ago. Pardon, he has since reintegrated with the team, and even with Big E on his own on SmackDown, Kingston and Woods have still been a tag force to be reckoned with. They haven't had much to do individually since Kofi lost the title, so Kingston's a bit out of practice. Still good, but it's like Fezzik from The Princess Bride. He fought so many teams lately, he needs to adjust to taking on just one person. And he might not have the time. And then there's Lashley himself. Finally rid of the high life trappings that MVP forced upon him, Lashley looks like he's going back to his roots as a nigh unstoppable force in the WWE, which is how he won the title in the first place. Winner and still champ, Bobby Lashley. Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Winner receiving a Raw, SmackDown, or NXT Women's title match later, anytime in the next year. Like Royal Rumble, I'm going to give a primary and a secondary pick to be safe. One safe bet is Natalya and Tamina will not win. In fact, putting them in the same match is almost guaranteed to break them apart over time. Zelina Vega just came back, and while in need of a push, I don't see it happening. Asuka and Naomi are technically also a team now, so nope. Alexa Bliss, I think this is where the Fiend comes in and teaches her a lesson about butchering a persona. That leaves Nikki ASH and Liv Morgan. And let's face it, they both deserve the opportunity. Nikki's been in the background since Bliss turned into Mrs. Fiend, and Morgan, having lost her Riot Squad mate, has been pushing herself for the opportunity. And I think that you don't try to prove yourself over and over and over again just to be shoved aside. My primary pick is Liv Morgan, though Nikki the superhero in training is my secondary. Finally, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Winner receiving a Universal, WWE, or NXT Championship anytime in the next year. The one thing that ruined last year's match was that Otis won. By all accounts, he should not have even been part of the match. Now, the way he won the match was pretty awesome, but still, I was so happy when Miz stole it from him. This year, I dare say, everyone could use a jump start. Well, except for King Nakamura. He's already got it for winning the King of the Ring crown. Big E seems a little more like a secondary titleist despite his IC title reign earlier. And don't get me started on Drew McIntyre. If he does win, won't Lashley say that he can't challenge him because of Hell in a Cell last month? He's had more than enough chances. I can see Kevin Owens getting a push had he not stunned Baron Corbin on Friday. Corbin might keep him out of the running. And Riddle would probably be put down by Randy Orton's return, ending RK Bro for good. Ricochet? No. And John Morrison? Okay, to avenge Miz losing the title maybe. It's really a toss-up for this one. But my primary pick will actually be Kevin Owens. I said Corbin might keep him out of the running, but that's a big might. Secondary pick will unfortunately be Drew McIntyre. Those are my picks. And let's just pray those in attendance don't regret it in a few weeks. I'm Chris Wolvie, the Wrestling Blog, who always tells it like it is. Stay safe, and I'll see you.